welcome to all of you. Today, we have gathered to discuss, essentially take a closer look at the multifaceted India-Indonesia partnership, which has acquired a new force and momentum, especially over the last 2 years. And this is in the context of Prime Minister Modi's visit, a forthcoming visit to Indonesia, which will build on a very successful visit by President Prabowo Subianto in January 2025, when India rolled out the red carpet to welcome him as chief guest of the Republic Day. This is also part of what we have started, the Act East, Talk East Dialogue series. And Indonesia being the largest country in ASEAN, and India is a close strategic partner going back to the heyday of the non-aligned movement, Global South solidarity and all that. So this is in a way a very important moment, a defining moment in India-Indonesia relations. We can expect some important outcomes in diverse areas. I will keep my remarks very brief and invite, without much further ado, India's ambassador to Indonesia, Ambassador Sandeep Chakravorty, to give an overview of, in terms of what can be expected in the days to come, especially in the context of Prime Minister Modi's visit to Indonesia.
Thank you, Manish, for organizing this event, or whatever you want to call it, a discussion on the forthcoming visit of Prime Minister Modi to Indonesia. And I am very honored to be in a panel with very eminent persons, including former Ambassador to Indonesia, Ambassador Gurjit Singh, then Dr. Satish Mishra, who is established India-Indonesia think tank called Arthashastra Aisha, and of course Dr. Yohanes Sulaiman, who is an IR expert based out of Bandung. One thing which I was thinking myself, that many of us end our lives without creating any institution. But Manish, I see you have 3 institutions to your credit. The India Rights Network, then the Center for Global Indian Insights, and the India and the World magazine. I think you are quite an institutional builder. And hats off to you
Thank
on
you.
that. It's very inspiring. I will give you a small brief on what the background and a little bit about what we can expect. And I have to rush for a meeting, and I will explain the meeting also and give it some context, and you will understand how that is also important. So, as we know, and Manish mentioned that President Prabowo was chief guest at the Republic Day in 2025 with the Indonesian marching contingent. And I think that visit was very, very significant. It left a lasting impression on him. That has had a very salutary effect on relations between India and Indonesia. And I just recently heard foreign ambassador speaking that earlier in the previous administration, only some countries got all the deals or had access. In the current administration, there are many more players and more access to other countries. I think a positive spin-off for India. This is Prime Minister Modi's second bilateral visit to Indonesia after 2018, and his fourth visit to Indonesia, because he came for the India-ASEAN Summit in 2023, when I had just joined, and for a brief visit just before G20, and of course he came for the G20 in Bali. And I sincerely hope, and I think every commentator, including Ambassador Singh, who recently wrote an article in Asian Age, believe and that this will give an impetus to the visit, because we may all at our levels try to push the envelope and create opportunities for bilateral engagement. It is only high-level visits which give profile and trajectory to a visit, and I think in that sense this is very, very welcome. Also, I believe that in the current geopolitical situation, with the war in Ukraine and the war in Middle East, India and Indonesia talking and developing close ties, I think has an inherent message. It's important for think tankers to ruminate on that. But I personally feel as a practitioner that it has got a lot of significance. The India-Indonesia relationship, you see, we always talk of potential, and but in many countries the base is weak or small. So sometimes it is irrelevant to talk of potential, because where will you start from? But I believe that the work done by my predecessors and others have built a strong base for our relationship. The base is actually quite high. The trade is significant. It's almost 30 billion US dollar. There are investment, there are bilateral investment. It's not only Indian investments in Indonesia. We are now seeing significant Indonesian investment in India. And one of the meetings planned for Prime Minister Modi is his interaction with select Indonesian CEOs who do business in India. So it is a two-way stream and two-way traffic, and we are seeing significant interest of Indonesian companies to invest in India. Of course, Indonesia is a strong source or a very reliable source of raw materials for the Indian economy. And as the Indian economy powers on, it will need more raw materials. And Indonesia has proven to be a very reliable source. And recently, I was talking to the CEO of Tata Power, and he was saying that many of our power plants, particularly along the coast, are actually, technically suitable only for Indonesian coal. So there has been a dependency which has been created, and which I think is good for sustainability of the relationship. It's not that tomorrow don't want to buy Indonesian coal, I will go to Australia or some other geography. There is now interdependency between India and Indonesia, and I think it is an important point to highlight that many of our Indian companies, not only in coal but in other areas also, for instance in steel, in palm oil, there are dependencies, and these have to be further strengthened. We are also talking of more supply chain relationships. We are now looking at how we can participate in the downstreaming program of the president, where he wants not to export only raw material but process them in Indonesia. And I think I was discussing with Ambassador Gurjit Singh the day before that India can be a partner of for in Atmanirbhar Indonesia, which is self-reliant Indonesia. It's not that we buy raw material and take it to India. We can actually participate in downstreaming and value addition in Indonesia, and then sell back to India or to the world. And there are many examples where Indian investors have set up shop here, and they have produced for Indonesia, produced for India, and they are now become global player. In fact, one Indian company known as TBS, I think, believes that they are a global company, and their ownership is traced back to India. They are in every right an Indonesian company selling to Africa and to Philippines and many other geographies. I think that's a very sustainable model where Indian companies should look at Indonesia not only for raw materials but to harness the advantages that Indonesia offers to Indian businessmen, including a stable workforce and reasonably priced workforce, access to raw materials, and access to markets, because Indonesia has now a network of FTAs. It is part of RCEP. It is part of the ASEAN trade agreement. It has a favorable trade deal with the US. It is part of Indonesia EU CEPA, the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, and some more are in the pipeline. So Indian companies can really leverage that. And I'm not wanting to spill the beans, but in the visit you will find several examples of what I am saying, where some important announcements will be made, where India will participate in supply chain diversification and downstreaming in Indonesia. The second point which I want to make is the economic integration and digital integration. That is also happening, and a good example is the work that is going on at breakneck speed on UPI CRIS integration. That I'm not very sure whether we will meet the deadline of the visit, but it will be announced in the coming months. At least That is my hope. So that will again facilitate transactions. A large number of Indian tourists visit Indonesia, and others come to Indonesia. So if we have that integration of our digital payments architectures, that is a positive outcome. If you remember, when President Prabowo had gone to Indonesia, we had signed this MOU on digital cooperation, and we had agreed to promote DPI, digital public infrastructure. You'll be happy to know that Indian companies have built Indonesia's open network for digital commerce. It's an Indonesian-owned company where technology has come from India, but it is going to really be a disruptor and give the platforms, the digital commerce platforms, a run for the money. That will be launched during the visit, and that can become really a game changer, where Indian inspired ONDC inspired ION will start taking roots in Indonesia. It is a very packed agenda. He is here for a day and a half. We expect him to have very substantive discussions with President Prabowo. There are several elements of the visit which you will come to know very soon. But before I end, I want to say that I have to rush to meet with the ESDM minister, the energy and mineral resources minister, thanks to Dr. Mishra in this panel. And but the discussions that I'm going to have with him are threefold. One is an Indian investment in an oil and gas field. Then there is an Indian, supply chain issue with a big Indonesian buyer. They are having some dispute. I'm trying to help resolve them. And the third is an Indian investment in a renewable energy project. So this is my agenda for my meeting with the minister. So again, this very nicely reflects where the relationship is going, and what are the next steps that we are taking. We are also talking about not only coal and fossil fuel based energy or renewable, that is solar and wind, but also nuclear. And we have now initiated discussions with Indonesia on nuclear cooperation, and we may see in the coming months cooperation with Indonesia in that area. So these are the new areas where we are venturing into, and it's a very welcome development that Indonesia has joined BRICS, and we have the BRICS summit later in the year, and President Prabowo will be attending that. So that will give another opportunity for the two leaders to meet and carry forward the agenda that is being discussed during Prime Minister Modi's visit early next month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandeep, for that very succinct and broad overview. Just wanted to clean and green is energy to clean and green is the way to go, probably. Also, very briefly, you have been talking to so many people here in the preparation in the run-up to the visit. What is broadly Indonesia's expectation from India, especially from this visit?
You see, Indonesia has this policy of bebas dan active, which is free and active. Indonesia is very clear that it doesn't want to put all its eggs in one basket. So there is a very strong push towards diversifying. So as I said in the beginning, a foreign ambassador was telling me, at least in the Prabowo administration, we are finding a wide range of engagement. He has also traveled a lot. He has met a lot of partners. So not only India, a country like Belarus also today has access and an agenda with Indonesia. So I think that is a very healthy policy for countries such as India, where we have always been there, but sometimes we felt that we were missing the bus. But I think the bus is big now, and there is room for everyone to climb onto the bus.
Okay, thank you once again.
Thank you.
And we'll let you go. And probably, I hope you can find time to join towards the end if possible. But
thank you, Manish.
Okay, thank you.